the worst country in human history. The Soviet regime committed every atrocity imaginable. Workers were dumped in Siberia with no food or tools. Universal tragedies were covered up. People sold human body parts for food. Here is the harrowing reality of the Soviet Union. 1. Sacrificing yourself was normal. During World War II, the Axis powers laid siege to Leningrad. The siege lasted 872 days. 1 million citizens perished. 9 botanists starved to death defending Leningrad's seed bank. They refused to eat seeds for the future of the country. In the Soviet system, human life had no value. 2. The Soviet Union covered up the Chernobyl disaster. In 1986, there was a massive fire at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. 39,000 square miles of land was contaminated with the fallout. The authorities kept the tragedy a secret. The first responders thought they were putting out an ordinary fire. They shoveled radioactive debris with their bare hands. Most of them died of acute radiation syndrome. The nearby city of Pripyat was evacuated only a day later. The rest of the world remained in the dark. Then the radiation reached Scandinavia. The secret could no longer be kept. Thousands of Soviets died of cancer in the coming decades. But the official Soviet death toll remains at just 31. 3. The Soviet Union orchestrated a devastating famine. In the 1930s, Stalin felt threatened by Ukraine's growing autonomy. He stripped Ukrainian farmers of their land, livestock, and tools. He called this policy collectivization. It resulted in the Terror Famine, or Holodomor. People were blocked from leaving the Ukrainian SSR. They did horrible things to survive. Some sold human body parts for crumbs. Others killed their own newborns to feed their families. Over 1932 to 33, 7 to 10 million Ukrainians starved to death. 4. One executioner accounted for 1/3 of the Katyn massacre. In 1939, the Soviet Union annexed half of Poland. Stalin ordered the execution of 22,000 Polish military officers. The massacre was named after the Katyn forest. One Soviet executioner personally shot 7,000 people. He worked 10 hours a day. He averaged 1 death every 3 minutes. The Soviets blamed the massacre on the Nazis. 5. People were abandoned to their fate in Siberia. In 1933, Stalin dumped 6,200 workers on an island in Siberia. They were ordered to build a special settlement. It was to operate as an extension of the Gulag. The workers were provided with some flour, a handful of tools, and no shelter. 4,000 of them died within a month. Others eventually resorted to cannibalism. 6. The Soviet Union had its own concentration camps. The Gulag was a network of forced labor camps. It was founded under Vladimir Lenin, but it turned into a mass murder machine under Stalin. Around 1.6 million Soviet prisoners perished in the Gulag. All it took to end up there was to arouse suspicion. Prisoners had no prospects of being released. They worked 14 hours a day. The lack of nutrition turned them into savages. They either starved to death, died of disease, or were executed. One Gulag survivor recalled,
"Bread is not issued in equal pieces, but thrown onto a pile. Go grab."